Now that we have filled out the project info in project settings, we will skip over to Configurator. We will cover all of these tabs in separate videos, but for this video we're going to skip over to Configurator, where you can configure the products. So the first thing that you will see is Manage Car and Products, which in this case what you do is, let's say I'm going to have 3 cars in this job. I will now assign them to products. So suppose I want all 3 of them to have a Galaxy 4 controller, a door operator, and a governor. I'm going to click Apply. And as you can see, each of these 3 cars now have these 3 products. I can create a separate car, manage products, and give it a different product called safeties and rope gripper, for example. And you can see that safeties and rope gripper only shows up for car number 4. Once you know you're done with this, you can click Close. But there are some things that we could play with here. So you can rename this car to be car A, rename this car to be PE4, very common name. And these names will show up later on the configurator. So I'm going to press Close. And you will see that these are called environmentals. What environmentals are fields that you quickly fill out to give you a rough estimate of the product. So, for example, I just fill out all of these controller attributes. I'm filling out the common column because what the common column actually does is it fills straight across the same values for all 3 of these cars. Now you might ask, oh, what happened to car PE4? Car PE4 does not belong in controllers as how we have just set it up. You will see car PE4, which is somewhere here that you might not be able to see. It's a very light color because it's not active, because you're not in the safeties or rope grippers. So let me finish this. Configure floors. And once you have filled out each line within environmentals, you can click Apply. Now the system runs through all kinds of calculators, all kinds of rules to build, and for instance, a controller, Galaxy 4. Each of these that you see here are fields and options that you can change to configure the controller that you want. So for example, this job has a tendon operation. I can change that. These little arrows show that, I can expand and collapse. This is called a label divider, where we section everything off. We group them by label dividers. Within label dividers, you can also collapse, expand, expand, and expand. I can also reset a section to defaults, which sets this whole section back to its default values, the way it came. Now, what else do we see? The back up top, you would see a little arrow here. This shows all the different products that you have configured within this entire project. So if we click on, let's say, rope gripper, only PE4 has that. So we will fill out rope gripper for rope gripper. And you repeat the same process for this product. And you would also click apply. The same thing happens every product. You would just have different fields. Okay, so let's go back to our controls, for example. Suppose you want to add another car to just controllers. How would you do that? What you do is manage car and products. You will now create a new car. And we will now call this car, actually before we do that, we're going to manage products. And right now we're only managing car number 4 because we're having that checked off. And we will now assign it to controllers again. Group 1. Or you can create a new group. Since controllers is the only product with the group functionality, we're going to call this group 2. And we're going to rename this car to car SE5. See, now you have group 1, group 2. Group 2 is still controllers with car name SE5. Now suppose you don't want to do this all over again. You know SE5 is the same configuration as car A. So what you can do is you go to group 1. In car A, you click on this little gear, copy values, come to group 2, click on the gear for car SE5, and you're going to paste values. And just like that, SE5 has the exact same values as car A. That is how you copy from car to car. Show advanced fields. What it does is it shows some of the fields that normally sales would not take care of, such as engineering fields, such as main brick data. Main brick data does not really affect pricing. Therefore, on sales side, they will not need to fill in this information. But engineering does need this information to create the proper wiring diagrams, for example. So therefore, that's what advanced fields do. Coming back up. Load from PDF. What this does is you can create a PDF document with options and fields. You can load this into the configurator, and it will automatically fill each of these fields for you. It saves a lot of work. On this side, you also see the rope gripper. You see a scroller. This scrolls through your products. Catalog is when you have